so I'd heard ideas thrown around about a possible Caroline Klaus, interaction, and as to whenever there is a potential for, anything possibly romantic, there's always kind of like a trial session, a little trial period, because you want there to be like a chemistry between the characters, and you want it to flow and make sense, and the writers know best. And so I read it, and I thought it was a really beautiful scene, and I know Joseph was really excited about it because it's the first time that Klaus really has a vulnerable side, and that's important, obviously to every character, because everyone has good in them. It doesn't matter how evil, just as much as it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna have some evil in you.
Yeah.
So so I really thought it was a beautiful moment, and I was excited because it just was. It was a very unexpected thing, like that Caroline would be the one that he'd be decided to start wooing, but it makes sense, because she's a very bright character, and she's still strong, and she is at the same time very vulnerable. So for someone of power like Klaus, it's definitely an interest, it's an easy target to see once they actually are together. But I think Caroline's a little stronger than Klaus anticipates.
How would you kind of define Caroline's reaction to all of this?
I think surprise. I mean, I think that the look on Caroline's face after getting the bracelet said a lot of just like, what? As Tina Fey would say, what the wuck? It's just, very surprising, because it's especially coming from, I just feel like it kind of, from, first season when Caroline is like, why is it never me? Why does Elena get all the guys? And why, I try so hard, which is still one of my favorite scenes ever, because it's just so relatable for any girl, because I don't care how awesome or cool or strong and independent you are, everyone has been that girl at least once in their life. We're crying to your girlfriends, being like, why couldn't you just choose me? And so I just love that it's like, here's Caroline now, like, very secure in herself, and she has this guy choosing her, and she's like, what? But the evil one? The one who's ruining everyone's life? Now he's giving me the bracelet? Seriously? Seeing this interaction with Klaus, I think it will definitely bring out a different, it'll kind of create an inner turmoil possibly within Caroline of, wanting to be loved, but wanting to be respected, and wanting to be vulnerable, but wanting to be tough, and amongst, also that will translate also with her relationships with her friends, with her parents, and just across the board. They're definitely not rushing through any storylines right now. So there are promo pictures of Klaus and Caroline dancing at the ball, but it doesn't go from 0 to 60 by any means in any romantic way. So even though they're dancing together, they're not like getting it on. Or are they? No, I know. The episode hasn't aired yet, sorry, we're like a couple episodes ahead. But yeah, I mean, it definitely leaves a lot of doors open, but they're not rushing through anything. And also in the next couple weeks, with the episodes coming up, we're just going to be learning a lot about, some possible new characters. We're going to have another flashback episode. We're going to start learning some more history, and yeah, there's a very unsuspecting being that is creating a lot more turmoil than any viewer would think.
So more turmoil than Elijah? That seems almost impossible.
There's definitely, the writers are throwing the viewers a curveball. I mean, I've been very excited to read the scripts, and I didn't expect it, and it makes complete sense, and it's now it's opening up a whole other door. Just when you thought everyone had something to focus on, they're like, now we got to deal with this. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up.